are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan, everybody take on Twitter. Here to talk about the latest Auburn athletics news as your Auburn Tigers are the 2024-2025 SEC regular season champions and did that at the dismay of Alabama and by beating the absolute crap out of Kentucky. So, 3 headlines happened in this game from yesterday. So, to start off with, first win at Rupp Arena since 1988. This win also pushed Dylan Cardwell above Jalen Williams for the winningest player in Auburn basketball history. And I wrote these notes when the game ended. SEC regular season co-champs at the bare minimum is what I put. And then shortly after that, I don't know who watched the Alabama-Tennessee game. That game was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't watch all of it. I definitely watched the end of the second half. So I can paint the picture for you because I'm going to paint this for talking about the Auburn game. I'm sitting there watching Tennessee have to fight back against Alabama in Knoxville. And it's like the 2-minute mark. It's like a tied game, I think. Let's say 2-minute mark. It's like under a minute. It's like 30 seconds. Alabama is the passing in the ball. This is not 5 seconds, 7 seconds. They're going to check in the ball, and I think it's LeBaron Philon, the freshman, holds the ball for too long. Tennessee played a great defense in the game. So 5-second violation. LeBaron Philon held the ball too long. Gives Tennessee the ball back. It's still, again, 7 seconds left on the clock. They dribble it up, or they pass it off. Tennessee does. And the guy kind of slowly, but jogs across, kills a bunch of clock, kills a bunch of time. And I'm sitting there screaming at the TV, telling him to call a timeout because, like, you can draw a play up, maybe get a quick and easy 2. But no, this dude had a 3 on his mind and absolutely drilled a 3 from the logo. It was ridiculous. I was screaming, call a timeout, call a timeout, call a timeout, and he drills the 3. I get up from the couch, and I take a lap around the house because Tennessee hit a buzzer beater 3 to knock Alabama out of contention for a regular season title, which Auburn clinched a share of and eventually got it outright by beating Kentucky 94-78 yesterday. Auburn only was trailing in this game for 19 whole seconds. It was tied for 12 seconds, and for the other 39 plus minutes, Auburn had the lead. So how did Auburn do this versus Kentucky in Rupp Arena? They did that by forcing 18 turnovers, which is absolutely ridiculous. After those 18 turnovers, they scored, I just scrolled up and lost 21 points off those turnovers. Auburn only had 8, and Kentucky, they only put up 9 points. Auburn got out-rebounded in this game, 38-23. It also helped the fact that a lot of Auburn players got into foul trouble. Janai Broome had 3 fouls. G. Hudson had 3. Chaney Johnson had 3. And then CBM, Cardwell, and Pettiford all had 4, which absolutely ridiculous. The amount of reviews in this game was ridiculous. That definitely prolonged the time of this game. Auburn shot the ball very well, 52% from the field, 46% from the 3, 12 of 26, which, you talk about 12 of 26 as a team. Miles Kelly in this game, 30 points from Miles Kelly. It made 10 field goals, 9 of which was a 3-pointer. 9 of 14 from the 3-point line for Miles Kelly. Also had 2 rebounds and an assist as well. You didn't get a great game out of Janai Broome, 9.6 rebounds, but, plus-minus wise, he did what he was supposed to do. He took the eyes off of everybody else because Auburn had 3 players score 20 or more. Tahad Pettiford, 21 points off the bench, 6 of 10 from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Chad Baker-Mazara, 22 points, 6 of 12, 9 of 10 from the free throw line as well. And, of course, I mentioned Miles Kelly, who had himself a game and a half in this one. And another thing you can hang your hat on if you're Auburn in this and looking back at this game, Kentucky was one of the most efficient offenses in college basketball. And Auburn held them to only 78 points, held them to 34 points in the first half. This was a defensive showcase for Auburn, and they combined that with an absolute offensive explosion from three guys who have been having great seasons, but I don't think they've all had a great game like this altogether. And you're able to pick up the slack. Denver Jones went down. I think it was a ankle sprain, or I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't want to spread false information, so I'm gonna go try to find that real quick. It was I don't know if it was ankle sprain. It was like a bone bruise, or it was a bruise of some kind, and it's not season ending. He'll be back, but knocked him out of the game 8 minutes in for him. So I'm gonna do some journalism real quick and just have that kind of pulled up to get that. I don't want to say anything. Update on Denver Jones, bone bruise. So don't know if he'll play Tuesday or Saturday, but definitely not season-ending injury for that, and that is from D.D. Jones. So very credible source on the injury update of Denver Jones. But yeah, Auburn's clinched the 1 seed in the SEC tournament. You clinched a 1 seed in the March Madness tournament. Who knows how long ago? But yeah, Denver's one of your most valuable players. Best two-way player you got, if I'm being honest, best offensive and defensive player altogether, outside of Janai Broome, of course. Other than that, Shane Johnson didn't have a great game, 25 minutes, 3 points, but he still had a very efficient defensive game, and that's what it's the same thing Auburn did versus Alabama. They played excellent defense and combined that with a lights-out offense. Look, plus minuses here. You had James Hudson had -8 on the plus minus. With his only stat line being 3 personal fouls in 3 minutes, so averaging a foul a minute. He also had -3 from Denver Jones, which only played 8 minutes, 4 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, a foul, a turnover. Of course, got hurt, so I don't know if I'm not going to really hold that against him whatsoever. Then you got 10 points, or plus 10 from Dylan Cardwell, 0 points from Cardwell, but 3 rebounds and 4 fouls for him in 21 minutes. After that, you got 11 out of Chaney Johnson. We mentioned him, 3 points, 3 rebounds for Chaney. Also had 2 turnovers and a block as well. So put him at 11. Then you got up next is 14 from Janai Broome, not having a great scoring game that we see him from Janai, but still efficient defensively for the Tigers. After that, you got CBM with 16. 18 from Miles Kelly, and your most efficient player from plus-minus standpoints is, of course, Tahad Pettiford, having himself a game as well. This is the Auburn team that should be playing every week. This is how Auburn should look every single game. That's just how good this team is. That's the reason they've won the SEC title. There's still 2 games left in this season. Auburn's got A&M this week, and, of course, you end the season with Alabama. So, what's next for the Tigers? Give some guys a break. You've clinched some 1 seeds already. And, don't look past at A&M. A&M is a team that, will give you a lot of fits. Bruce Pearl historically struggles versus Buzz a lot. It's something we coined over here, the College Loop, the Buzz Saw, because BP has just struggled recently. A&M was the team that knocked the Jabari Walker team out of the SEC tournament in 2022. Correction. You've accomplished only half of what this team is capable of doing. I don't know if an SEC. I don't think Auburn needs to win the SEC tournament. I think that I don't want to say it's a waste of energy, but definitely, this team is good enough that you don't want to wear them thin. You have the depth to get through it. But, win a game or 2 out of the tournament and then, just kind of coast your way through it. If you win it, you win it. But also, I would like this team to be at 100% health as March Madness starts. And again, I'm not saying throw the tournament. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Don't take that from what I'm saying here. But definitely don't expel the rest of your energy in the tournament. The SEC is very tough, and It's already tough when you're playing 2 games a week, and now you got a game a day. You got a bye week, lack of a better term, for 2 days, 2 byes. You got the first round, second round, and then of course, then you play in the quarterfinals. If you win that one, you go to the semifinals. You win that one, you go to the SEC tournament championship. It'd be really cool for Auburn to win both. But again, this team has had players get dinged up. I mean, we just saw Denver get hurt. CBM dealt with some injuries in the year. Janai Broom was out for like 3 games. I just don't think it's all that important to win the SEC tournament. It's just not to me. A regular season title has always been the pinnacle of the SEC titles because you made it through the gauntlet of the season. Auburn somehow only did it with 2 losses so far. I'm not gonna knock on wood real quick because I think Auburn can end the season and just win out. Definitely, it sucks you didn't get to win didn't get to win the SEC championship in Neville Arena, but it's going to be a party in Neville Arena despite how the Iron Bowl basketball round 2 plays out. Auburn has clinched a 1 seed in March Madness. That is final. No matter what, Auburn is more than likely the overall number 1 seed. I don't think Duke can do anything. I don't think Houston can do anything. I have to remember all the other teams. Alabama, I think, has played themselves out of a 1 seed, which is nice. But as I'm currently, as I've seen lately, Auburn is the best team in basketball. The bracket makers have decided on that. And it's very hard for me not to grab a bracket and go ahead and just write in Auburn all the way up to the championship game. That's how good this team is. And we're looking forward to that. This is March. It is officially March. Because the tournament starts, this tournament, I believe, starts 2 weeks from now, a week and a half from now, not mistaken. Usually it's over like a spring break, but I'm not a college student anymore, so I don't know when that officially is. Let's see, SC tournament dates. Auburn, they got the number 1 seed. Let's see, March 12th. So yeah, that's 10 days from now. SEC tournament. So a week and a half. And you'll get SEC tournament. Auburn's going to be playing on the 14th. So yeah, 2 break days from that. Of course, I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee. Wish I could go. Wish I could go to that, but yeah, will be a lot of fun. For all the 3 able to go. I went to the one in Tampa a couple years ago. Got to watch A&M take down Bari and Walker. It was not a fun time, but it was a fun time at the same time. Great trip. Excuse me. But yeah, looking ahead to that, and I just kind of forgot to go down to my topic list over here. But yeah, War Damn Basketball. That's all I can say. Auburn got to celebrate another SEC regular season title. I believe they're 3rd in the BP era, not mistaken. Best team in basketball. And that's the best way to round out that segment. Is just best team in basketball. Definitely my favorite to win the national championship. And it's kind of hard to not see the science behind it. Auburn controls their entire destiny. The ending, how the season ends is completely dependent on which Auburn basketball team you get throughout the entirety of the tournament. This cannot end in another Yale game. This cannot end in a Miami game. Honestly, it'd be a disappointment if this team doesn't make it to at least the Elite 8. This team is the favorite to win the national championship. By far, is the favorite. Janai Broom is the favorite to win the National Player of the Year award, as he should be. Everything points to this being Auburn's year to finally get over. I don't want to say the hump because that's not to join the Blue Bloods officially, to get the legal document with they're able to sign their name on it that they are officially a Blue Blood by winning a championship. And I honestly, national player, I said national player of the year for John Broom, national coach of the year too for BP, deserves that too. And honestly, we talk about statues a lot. We've got a lot of statues building around in Auburn. I believe Frank Thomas got the last statue. Unless was it Aubie or Frank? I think it was Frank Thomas. Aubie. It was one of those two. It's officially time to start breaking ground on a BP statue. There needs to be a Bruce Pearl statue somewhere. Put it in the middle of where Pearlville usually is. That's the perfect place to put it. Put it right smack dab in the middle of where Pearlville built around. It'd be the best place for it, in all honesty. And then we'll do the Coach K thing. We'll name the actual like court, Pearl Court, something like that. Definitely earned it. Lifetime contract. No, we already got that, but yeah, this season has been one for the record books, and honestly, national championship or bust. National championship or bust. We're going to quick little break. We're going 16-minute mark. After the end of this break, we're going to come back, talk about the NFL Combine. Who raised their stock the most over this week? So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Are you tired of having to rummage through just clothes after clothes after clothes, looking for something to wear? Are you tired of your friends making fun of you for your terrible fashion sense? Well, do we have the shirt for you? Go to thewarreport.com, get your laptop out and do it right now. Go to the shop and get your very own Feelin' Loopy t-shirt as well as your college loop hat, and you can get both of them for only $25 each. Plus shipping and handling, of course. But with that, now back to your regular scheduled program.
And of course, available on thewarreport.com. Go to the shop, second page. You'll find the college loop merch as I said that as well. But yeah, you'll find the college loop merch. Of course, the merch is only one way to support the channel. The best way to support the channel is, of course, by liking, by subscribing, and by commenting. Leave your thoughts. Where do you think Auburn basketball can end this season? Do you think it's Elite Eight, Final Four, national champion? Not championship, champion. Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget March Madness is right around the corner. We'll have the College Loop March Madness bracket yet again. Winner will receive 2 tickets to this year's A-Day. I've looked at the schedule. I've made sure of it. National championship is a week before. So a week before A-Day. I will check this as much as possible. Let's see. March Madness tournament schedule. Just to check it again, A-Day is April 12th. I know that for a fact. It is April 12th is A-Day. And just make sure, April 12th. And the national championship is April 7th. That's basically a week. Yeah, Monday. And pretty much we will more than likely know who the winner is before then. But believe me, the tickets will be available by then. So, yeah. Hopefully the schedule doesn't mess up on me again. If not, merch giveaway will be the what's the word I'm looking for? The compromise there. But yeah, 2 tickets to A-Day on the line for the March Madness bracket. And as we continue with the show, the NFL Combine was this week as we got to see, only got to see 3 Tigers work out. Jalen McLeod I did not see anything as a why, unless he was dealing with some kind of injury or what. Some players don't really take part in the actual thing. It's just there to interview with the teams. I think every single Tiger that went out there this week raised their stock. If we look at Jarquez Hunter went out there and, we know how athletic Jarquez Hunter is, but he got a chance to actually go out there and prove it by running the 7th highest 40-yard dash for a running back. He also had the 2nd highest rep at the bench press with 21. Dude is an absolute beast. Had a 10-foot broad jump, a 34-inch vertical jump. Absolutely blew everyone out of the water. No one looked the part more than Jarquez Hunter does at all times. Dude is an absolute beast at every aspect of the game. Definitely a guy who should get a lot more respect than he does out of every single draft analyst. Jarquez Hunter should be getting a lot more looks than he does. Another guy who had a breakout performance was Eugene Asante. Also had a high bench press from the linebackers. I believe he was in the top 3. Not mistaken, top 4. There we go. He was the 4th. Also had the 2nd fastest 40-yard dash time for a linebacker. Absolutely showed out himself. Did very well in the drills. Him and KLS both struggled with some of the drills because they were the first ones to go. So, you got to get used to it. But I mean, Eugene athletically is the part. I think they're all going to get drafted. Jalen's the only one I'd be worried about strictly because he didn't get to work out. But I mean, pro day, he'll probably get a chance to showcase what he is. And of course, lastly, KLS 4.3740 for Keandre Lambert Smith. Now, this was, I want to say it was 5th in wide receivers, 6th in wide receivers. There we go. But yeah, 4.37, absolutely ridiculous, especially because draft analysts everywhere say he didn't have the speed to be an NFL wide receiver. Absolutely shut everybody up on that fact. I mean, KLS, again, he is the most underrated prospect in this draft, wide receiver wise. No one has been giving KLS the attention he deserves. I don't know how you can watch what happened last year with Auburn, how you could see how good he made Peyton Thorne look at times and not think, oh, maybe he could do that for my quarterback. I'm a big Panthers fan. I'm a Panthers fan fully. You know how much I would adore see KLS get taken in like the 5th round to the Panthers. That's the dude I'm like, okay, well, duh, this guy's going to start in like a few games. Panthers don't have the best wide receiver core ever, but I mean, it's a good one. I think KLS fits right in the mold for any core that needs a young wide receiver to go in there as a rookie and just showcase what he can do. Keandre Lambert Smith. Dude is an absolute dog. I refuse to acknowledge anybody who does not see Keandre Lambert Smith as a beast of a prospect. Dude is athletic. Dude is a freak. If you can make Peyton Thorne look good, you can make anybody look good. It's as simple and easy as that. But they'll all get a chance to raise their stock even more for the pro days. I think the pro day is sometime in March. This month, but I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's before A-Day. It usually is. If not, it'd be right afterwards. Of course, the draft is on April 24th through the 27th. I'm mistaken, 24th through the 26th. Yeah, and I think that's the date for the draft. I know for a fact it's 24th to the 26th. I'm not sure when the pro day is. I would love to go to Auburn's pro day just to kind of see it. Of course, you get to see sometimes like Cam Newton's there to get back in the NFL, but I don't think he'll be there this year. But yeah, buy stock in Keandre Lambert Smith, dark horse candidate for 2025 Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Show him some love. Of course, Jarquez Hunter, it's going to be Jarquez Hunter too. Jarquez Hunter is going to be in the mix for that too. And I think Eugene. Auburn's got some dogs going to the NFL this year. They got some dogs going into the NFL. And they need some more attention. Need a lot more attention than what they're getting. But yeah, all 3 of them did well. Did very well. 4 of them. I mean, Jay McLeod got some interviews. I think he interviewed the Packers, or was one of the teams he interviewed. All 4 of the guys they went to the combine are getting drafted. That's just how it goes. If you got invited to the combine, you're getting drafted. But some of them should get drafted higher than where they're projected to go. All right, so that's the combine. Now to round out Diamond Sports here, both teams have had undefeated weekends thus far. I mean, Auburn currently up on Baylor in baseball 7-3 after last night taking down number 8 Oregon State in Arlington, Texas for the Amigi Bank College Baseball Series. Shutting up doubters, including myself. Beat Ohio State 13-0 in 7 innings. Just ruled the crap out of them. And then played tough against Oregon State, now currently beating Baylor 7-3, bottom of the 8th. So that game might be over by the time we get out of here. Auburn has had the lead since the 2nd inning when they were down 1-0 in the bottom of the 1st. Top of the 2nd, 2 runs scored. Top of the 3rd, got 2, up 4-1 up 5-1 at the end of the 5th inning, and then 8th inning, Baylor's kind of trying to claw back into it. But regardless, Auburn up by 4 runs, and that Auburn softball, on the other hand, starting off their season 19-1 after taking on the James B. Memorial and absolutely balling out defensively, offensively, all over the place. Start off with a 5-0 win over Rutgers on Friday, and then, of course, rounding out Friday with a 10-6 win over McNeese State. Saturday, you got 2 wins there. Louisiana beat them 6-3, and then 3-1 win over McNeese, and they're rounding out today with a 4-3 win over Louisiana Lafayette. You saw a lot of great things out of the pitchers. SJ having another great weekend as a first-year starter. Definitely. Diamond Sports having great seasons to start off with. Spring is, of course, in the air, and spring sports are just the light of the town right now. Super stoked to see Auburn softball 19-1. Of course, this week you got Troy on Wednesday. We'll be previewing that game on the Tuesday show. And then, of course, this Saturday, not only is Auburn playing Alabama in basketball, they're also going to be taking on, or Auburn softball is going to be starting their SEC schedule on Saturday versus Mississippi State in Starkville. Of course, this week for Auburn baseball, you got UAB on Tuesday, and then Friday you got Old Dominion for a weekend series, and then you won't get Auburn baseball in the SEC until Friday, March 14th. So Pi Day. On Pi Day, you get to watch Auburn baseball start their SEC conference season. This starting off with Vanderbilt at home. A beautiful Plainsman Park at Sanford Stadium. So yeah, super stoked for Auburn baseball and Auburn softball starting off hot on the season. Auburn baseball, of course. I said 19-1 for softball. Baseball is 10-1, of course, for that one ugly loss to Holy Cross. But that was the second game of the season. Regardless, and besides the point, both teams starting off hot to the year. Now to round out the show, there were some teams that did take some losses this week. Auburn Gymnastics took a loss to Oklahoma, which, I foresaw this coming. It's what happens when you play the best team in the country. Definitely felt like some things didn't get judged in the way that I think they should have. Auburn started off strong, 49.2 in vault. Bars came around, 49.2. Auburn did everything right. It's just the fact that Oklahoma just did it better, to the judges at least. Just barely beat them in every single category and got the basically over a 1-point win. But Auburn, I've said it all year long. Auburn has to score 49 in every single category to do that. They did it. If they played anybody else, they would have won. But Oklahoma, number 1 team in the country, they're going to get some edges there from the judges, and that's how it'll be sometimes. It's just how it be. You hate it. You hate to see it, but also easily could find a way to turn this thing around. Auburn, I say turn this thing around. Auburn's currently the top 12 team in the country. They're 10-4 on the year. They got 2 more meets left this Sunday. Sunday. They got Missouri. They'll be traveling to Columbia, and they're round out the year on senior night on Pi Day as well with LSU for senior night, 7 o'clock. So got 2 more meets to build your resume up. Of course, Auburn Gymnastics is going to be in the postseason. They're one of the best teams in the country, one of the best teams in the SEC. You just got to play have teams like Florida and Oklahoma and Kentucky. They kind of mess up your record there. Of course, this is Auburn's second loss to Oklahoma this season. But yeah, get straightened out. Just do your thing. You did everything right. I've said it all year long. They got to score 49 in every single rotation to win. They scored 49 in every rotation, but you can't make up for the fact that Oklahoma is just very good. But yeah. Lastly, on the docket for today, Auburn women's basketball ending their season today. 12-17, 3-13 in the conference. Had the lead for a good chunk of the game versus Mississippi State. And then in the third quarter, things turned around. Mississippi State took the lead, and I don't believe they ever gave it back. It sucks. It does, in fact, suck. Auburn, not the worst team in the SEC, but nowhere near the top. Definitely not a team that's going to be playing in anything. Auburn had to win the tournament to get into March Madness. Don't think it's plausible when you got teams like Texas and South Carolina in there. What's their time? I mean, same old for women's basketball. Deonna Gaston, 33 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, ending not her career, but she had still got at least another game left. Ending her Neville Arena career off hot as well. I mean, if anyone's raised their draft stock a lot out of these seniors, this is Deonna Gaston. She was a dog all year long. Marshawn Bostic, 13 points, 10 rebounds, got herself another double-double, 8 assists, almost got a triple-double, and 6 steals. So 4 steals and 2 assists away from a quadruple-double for Marshawn Bostic. But Suya Sambane, 2 points. Taylor Collins got 2 points. Yuting Dong got 9 points. 4 points from Sarai Daniels. Yakai Milton got 1. And O got 2. Jordan Hunter did not register a point in this game. Yeah, I look towards the future here for Coach Jay. I mean, I don't believe when anybody says that she's like on a hot seat or she should get fired or anything. I don't stand by that. Definitely unlucky year. Injuries piled up. You didn't get to see Talia Scott for more than 4 games. That sucks. She would have paired Talia Scott and Deonna Gaston would have been easy money every day. I mean, there was 2 players or a player on Auburn's team that they missed out on that would have scored 20 a game. That means week in and week out, you would have had 2 players who were averaging 40 a game together that you missed out on. A lot of close losses for Auburn women's basketball this season. And it sucks. I mean, you got to look towards next year. You won't have Deonna next year, which if she has another year of eligibility, no. Yeah, call the NCAA, see if there's any way to get one more. But I mean, you lost by 7 to Mississippi State. You lost by 3 to Georgia. You lost by 16 to Alabama. But you lost by 2 to Oklahoma. You lost by going up the list 1 to Arkansas. You lost by just 6 points to Norfolk State, 1 point to Kansas, 2 points to Oregon, 4 points to Cal. A lot of these games would be fixed if you could have everybody ready to go when you could. Of course, I mean, I went all the way back up to November for that, and you had Talia Scott for those 2 games, which scored 26 and 28 points in those 2 against 28 versus Oregon, 26 versus Little Rock, but does suck. Coach Jay's got next year to rebound from what has been an injury-prone season if I've ever seen one. But definitely think Coach Jay is the right person for the job. Just needs a healthy roster. But that's going to do for some of the College Loop Podcast. Of course, get ready for March Madness because the tournament bracket will be available as soon as we get it. And, of course, winner 2 tickets to this year's 8A, as long as Auburn doesn't cancel it with every other team. Thoughts on that? And everyone can check us out on social media platforms, literally everywhere, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the works. All is at The College Loop. And audio platforms for the podcast, Spotify podcast, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. Check me out on Twitter at your boy the Tank, at YABOY the Tank. Instagram at Dylan Larck, at DYLENLRCK. Right here on YouTube at The College Loop. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. Super cool to reach that milestone in general. But yeah, with that being said, this installment of the College Loop Podcast. And as always, War Eagle.